Hi friends, today we are going to be working on this beautiful vintage pine baker's rack. I love this piece. I love the carvings along the edge and its multi-use purpose. It could be a bookshelf, could use it in your kitchen, but it does have some wear, so we need to give it a makeover. I got started with my Dixie Mud, filling in any divots and scratches that I could and sanding those back. This is really easy product to use. You can just wipe it on with your finger or another tool and fill in any divots that you needed. Then you just sand it back lightly when it's dry and it's good to go. This piece did need a lot of prep work, a lot of sanding, and a lot of just getting it ready. So the bulk of the time was spent with prep work on this one, but it's definitely worth it in the long run. Once everything had gotten a good scuff sand, I also removed the hardware. Little tip with this, when you're removing hardware, label exactly where it goes, left side, right side. That way you know exactly where it goes when you put it back together. You will thank me later. Then I got to priming. I used bin primer on this. Pine has lots of knots, so there is a lot of opportunity for bleed through in the wood. So this got a good 2 to 3 coats of primer over the whole thing. I didn't really see too much bleed through, but I definitely want to prime it ahead of time. And it also just helps your paint go on a lot smoother. It gives it a really good sturdy base for the paint. Next I moved on to paint, and I used the color Dried Sage by Dixie Belle. It's a really pretty kind of green, brown, tan color, more of a neutral, very pretty color. And I gave the whole piece probably 2 to 3 coats. In between each coat, I also sanded it very lightly with a real high grit sandpaper to get a nice smooth finish. And here's how it looks once everything is painted. Excuse the mess that I paint in, but this is my studio space. So this is the color with all those coats on it and the doors. One of the shelves removed, none of the other ones did, so I was able to remove that one. And here you can see me just giving it the last light sand with a real fine grit sandpaper. Lastly, in the bottom cabinet piece of this shelf, I took Big Mama's butter and a paintbrush. You can also use a rag, and I just rubbed it into the wood down there. The wood was in really good condition. I didn't want to paint it, but I did want to deepen the color and bring back the moisture to it. It was just dry. Big Mama's butter is great for rejuvenating wood. I use it so much, and it just smells amazing. So you can see already the difference that it makes just putting that little bit onto the wood. It looks so much more alive. The bottom piece where I have not put the butter on looks very dry, and so I just rubbed that into the whole cabinet. And lastly, I also coated the entire piece with clear coat in satin, and then I took some brown wax and I just rubbed it into those carvings and the cabinet doors and all the little corners and crevices just to give it some age and some dimension. So this piece turned out beautifully. I love the soft color. You can see it here in my shop, holding all of my other goodies and treasures, and I love how it turned out. So let me know what you think and if you learned anything new.